Zachery Ty Bryan is best known for playing the rebellious eldest son of Tim and Jill Taylor in the hugely popular 90s sitcom Home Improvement. Bryan was just 17 years of age when the series ended in 1999, and went on to have a prominent movie and TV career in the subsequent decade. Adapting to life after a show considered one of the best sitcoms of the 1990s was never going to be easy, though, particularly after finding fame at such a young age. Over the past 5 years, Bryan has been involved in a string of legal troubles. These issues aren't the full story of his life after Home Improvement, though. The first news of his problems with the law surfaced following his divorce from high school sweetheart Carly Matrose in 2020. The couple had 4 children together, and, at least to the outside world, appeared to have a relatively stable family life. Zachery Ty Bryan is far from the only child actor from the 1990s to have faced legal problems, and he likely won't be the last. Fans of Home Improvement might prefer to think of him as fresh-faced young rebel Brad Taylor, rather than as a former star in his 40s whose mugshot is now regularly splashed across the tabloids. Zachery Ty Bryan continued to act after Home Improvement ended in 1999. Home Improvement ended after 8 seasons in 1999, when Jill Taylor actor Patricia Richardson decided to leave the show because of the gender pay gap between her and fellow star Tim Allen. Given how ubiquitous the series had been throughout the 1990s, the end of its run left Zachery Ty Bryan at something of a loose end. Nevertheless, he managed to avoid being typecast as Brad Taylor imitations, aided by the fact that he'd already had various bit-part roles in other TV shows and movies during the preceding decade. He soon secured recurring roles in the high school drama Boston Public, as well as the legal drama Family Law. Bryan became a reliable cameo star in various TV comedies and dramas across the 2000s, before securing his first major movie role in 2006 blockbuster hit The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift. This performance proved to be the high point of his big-screen career, as virtually all the other film projects he was involved in flopped at the box office. He did also have a minor role in the 2009 NBC miniseries Meteor, although this show proved to be a critical disaster, despite being released to much fanfare. It would be Zachery Ty Bryan's final screen role for 13 years. Zachery Ty Bryan retired from acting in 2009 but returned in 2022. Bryan retired from acting in 2009, but continued to work as a producer on several low-budget projects with the production company he founded, Vision Entertainment Group. These projects included the 2010 horror movie Prowl and 2012 psychological thriller The Grief Tourist. The latter film is the last release of any note that Bryan has produced. He did return to acting in 2022, after a 13-year absence, to play a supporting role in superhero parody show The Guardians of Justice. The 7-episode series mixes live action with animated, to lampoon the heroic characters of DC Comics. The show's subversive send-up of Batman, in particular, is worthy of special attention. The satirical character Night Hawk, played by Dallas Page, recasts billionaire philanthropist Bruce Wayne as a fascist building a secret militia that's preparing for a coup d'etat. Zachery Ty Bryan's part in the series as a presidential aide is relatively minor. However, this return to acting hasn't been followed up with performances in other TV shows or movies. It remains to be seen whether Bryan's role in The Guardians of Justice is a one-off screen appearance, or the beginning of a genuine comeback. The actor's ongoing legal troubles also complicate the situation. Zachery Ty Bryan went on to have 8 children in fphoto.com. When Shifting Gears Season 2 featured a Home Improvement reunion of sorts in October 2025, Zachery Ty Bryan was nowhere to be found. It seems as though he's left his adoptive TV family behind for good. At the same time, he's started a family of his own over the past decade. He and Carly Matrose had 4 children together before their divorce, and Bryan has gone on to have another 4 children since then. He had 3 more children with his former fiancée Johnny Faye Cartwright between 2022 and 2023, including his second set of twins. The actor has had a further child with a third, unnamed woman, whom Bryan was accused of assaulting when he was arrested and charged with domestic violence in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, on January 2, 2025. These charges were just the latest in a string of domestic abuse cases brought against Zachery Ty Bryan over the past 5 years. Zachery Ty Bryan's legal trouble explained ACEINFphoto.com. Since October 2020, Bryan has been arrested on 3 different occasions in relation to domestic violence charges, and on a further 2 occasions because he was found to be driving under the influence of drugs or alcohol, DUI, and without a valid driving license. In the first instance, he was arrested after allegedly strangling his then-girlfriend in 2020. Bryan pled guilty to a 4th-degree assault charge, was sentenced to 3 years of probation and was barred from contact with the victim, his long-term partner Johnny Faye Cartwright. He was again charged with domestic assault in July 2023, and after entering a guilty plea was sentenced to 7 days in jail and 36 months of supervised probation, via The Hollywood Reporter. His third domestic violence arrest occurred in January 2025, and he faces second-degree charges relating to allegedly punching and choking an unidentified female. These charges are still pending trial.